Welcome back to the channel. So let's say that you have practically no credit history, or you just
have a really bad credit score.
but you want to try to get that credit score up. One easy way to do that is to get credit cards. But since you don't have a credit history or you have bad credit, you're not really getting approved for very many credit cards. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about the top 3 credit cards that won't deny you. So there is so much to know about your credit.
Specifically, what goes into your score, what's positive, what's negative to contributing towards your credit score.
Without diving into the nitty-gritty details, long story short, is going to help you increase your overall credit score. Just pay them off on time and don't spend more money than you have. All right, so with all that being said, remember that I'm not a financial advisor. But the 3 credit cards I'm going to mention today are kind of in order. So apply for the first one. If you don't get accepted, apply for the second, and so on, right? However, you should be able to apply and be accepted for these credit cards fairly easy. And also keep in mind that these credit cards are not going to be the best in terms of rewards or cashback, but they are credit cards that won't deny you and are very easy to get when you have bad credit or pretty much no credit history at all. And number 1 that we're going to be talking about today is the Pedal to Visa credit card. Now, this is a fairly new credit card, and the whole idea of this credit card is to make it crazy easy for people that have never had a credit card before, people with no credit score, bad credit, to be accepted for this credit card. This card is literally meant for beginners. So things to know about this credit card. There is a $0 annual fee. So opening this credit card, it's not going to charge you an annual fee to have the card. A lot of the better rewards cards out there are going to charge you an annual fee to keep the card, which is generally worth it. But those are also harder to get accepted for. You need a higher credit score. So this card is a great bet. And this credit card reports to all 3 credit bureaus. Not all credit cards do that, come to find out. Rest safely knowing that this card actually will help you with your credit score. There is also no deposit required for this card, which means that you don't need to spend money or give this credit card money in order to open it or have the card in general. Now, the benefits of this card aren't crazy, but they're something. You can get 1 to 1.5% cash back, which is pretty good considering that this card is for beginners and is going to help you boost your credit score in the first place. Now, the limit on this card it depends. It can range anywhere from $300 to $10,000. So this is a newer credit card, super easy to be accepted for. Doesn't have the greatest rewards, but for a card meant for people with no credit score or bad credit history, that's a pretty good deal. So now the next 2 credit cards I'm going to be talking about are secured credit cards. Now, what a secured credit card is it basically means that you need a deposit in order to get the card. So number 2 is the Secured One Sable credit card. This card also offers a $0 annual fee like the previous card we had talked about. And since it is a secured card, like I had mentioned, it does require a deposit. And that deposit will then be your credit limit. However, this does not have a minimum requirement deposit. So for example, if I deposit $100 when I open up this credit card, then my credit card limit will be $100. And the max you can have is about $10,000. So it can range anywhere from like $1 to $10,000. Now the rewards on this card are a little nicer than the first card talked about. You can get 1 to 2% cash back, which isn't a crazy difference from the card we talked about previously. However, within the first year, this card promises a cashback match. So basically, whatever cashback rewards you have for that year, it's going to double at the end of the year, which is pretty dang good for a beginner card or a card for people trying to rebuild their credit score. So the cool thing about this credit card is that they offer a secured card graduation, which means that if you're doing well, you're paying your card off, you can expect within 4 months to be upgraded to a normal non-secured credit card, which is in turn going to give you better benefits and it's just going to be overall better. So that's kind of a cool deal that they got going on with that credit card. All right, so card number 3 if you were denied for both those credit cards, is a pretty popular one. It's the Discover It secured card. So, right, another secured card, and this card requires a minimum deposit of $200 when opening up the card, and that'll be then your line of credit as well. So if you deposit $1,000, line of credit would be $1,000. If you deposit $200, your line of credit would be $200, and so on and so forth. Now I will mention that if you are, for example, a college student, I would recommend that instead of this card, you would get the Discover It card for students. It offers a little bit better rewards and overall just a little bit better of a card, but you have to be a student, fortunately. Anyways, back to the Discover It secured card. Like all the others, $0 annual fee, which is nice. And with this card, you can get 1 to 2% cash back on all your purchases. And like the Sable One credit card, they also offer a match back for the first year. So similar, all your cashback rewards, they're going to double at the end of the first year. So number 2 and number 3 are pretty similar with a few differences. They're both secured cards. They have similar rewards. I think personally there's a little bit more advantage to the Sable One card versus the Discover It secured card. However, the Discover It secured card is much more popular. Mostly because I think Discover is a pretty big, well-known credit card brand. There you have it. Those are my 3 favorite cards for beginners or people trying to rebuild their credit history with bad credit. And these cards don't really require a credit check. They pretty much just need your name and address. A lot of times they're not even checking for your credit. The secured cards just need a deposit. The first card I had mentioned is designed for people trying to rebuild credit or just people with no credit history at all. So there you have it. If you have any questions or if you have any comments, please leave them down below. Don't forget, before you leave, make sure you subscribe, smash that like button. I would appreciate that so much. Thank you. Have a great rest of your day.